Hi everybody. I want to thank you for taking a few moments to check out this video. And in this video, I want to share my COVID-19 experience with you. And it was almost 2.5 months ago when I was tested, when I tested positive rather for COVID-19. And you know, it was a scary time for me, because, I am a grandfather. I do have some underlying issues, underlying medical issues. Namely, I've got high blood pressure, some other things as well, but I guess that's the main one. And I think COVID-19 came in through my grandchildren coming in from school, because at that time I wasn't really going out. As a matter of fact, I was really shocked to find out that I had COVID-19. Long story short, so I jotted down some notes because like I said, it's been almost 2.5 months. It's been 2 months and 10 days to be exact when I'm doing this video. And on October 26th, I'm going to go to my notes, because one of the ongoing issues that I have with COVID is I have a little bit of brain fog every now and then. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. And so in order to keep myself on track without losing focus, I'm going to use my notes. And so on October 26, 2020, that's when I tested positive for COVID-19. But I actually started to feel bad on October the 17th. So October 17th was on a Saturday, and I started feeling bad, but I got up to go to Zoom church on Sunday morning. So I went to Zoom church, and we usually stay on the Zoom church, and then we have a little fellowship on Zoom, talking to one another and so on and so forth. But that Sunday I felt like I just wanted to go to bed. So we're talking about Sunday, October the 18th. So I started feeling bad, or I was feeling bad, went to bed. And what happened was, throughout the week, I started feeling worse and worse. And I thought now it was my allergies acting up, because for whatever reason, that time of year is not good for me when it comes to my allergies. And so, I ended up with a severe headache, and just not feeling well. Didn't know what was going on, but I noticed that my breathing was beginning to get a little bit labored. And again, I didn't know what was going on, so I called my doctor's office, because I was feeling bad enough to do that. And it must have been about Tuesday or Wednesday. And so what they did is they went through a checklist. A checklist of COVID symptoms. Well, I didn't have a temperature, because my wife had bought this little device, and we were taking our temperatures every single day. So I didn't have a temperature. I didn't lose my smell. Didn't lose my taste. These are some of the main things. No chills or nothing like that. I was just overall feeling bad. Had this wicked headache. Wish that on nobody. So so we're talking about Wednesday that week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I started to lose not my taste or my smell senses, but I started losing my appetite. And so I got to the place where I wanted nothing to eat at all, period. Barely wanted water. So that's how bad I got. So I ended up going to the hospital on October the 26th, which was a Monday. Okay, which was a Monday. Went to the hospital, and of course they check you in, they ask you all these questions. By that time, I had some symptoms of COVID, like really late. I mean, really my breathing was really labored. I started having a little cough situation going on. So then they took me in, and I was there, and of course they found out I was dehydrated. Okay. And then the doctor came to me, and of course, it got me ready, put the gown on, all this stuff. Came to me and says, "Mr. Brown, we're going to test you for COVID-19. And right there, I'm thinking, oh man, I don't have COVID. You know, I don't have COVID. I've been nowhere to get COVID. Needless to say, he comes back 3 hours later, says, "Sorry, Mr. Brown, I'm sorry that you have COVID-19. Wow, man. Let me tell you something. That kind of floored me, right? It took me aback. I couldn't believe, what I heard. And the way he said it, now here's the deal. He said, "Mr. Brown, you have COVID-19. I'm sorry." And, the way he said it, the way he looked, like he didn't know what was going to become of me. He really didn't. So I'm in the hospital. I don't know what's going to become of me. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to make it out of the hospital. Now, what happened is that thankfully for me, my oxygen levels didn't drop to the point where I needed to be on a ventilator. Okay. But they were low. And the doctor says, right now your oxygen levels are, they're low, but, they're okay. You don't need a breathing apparatus. Okay. But that may change. And here's the thing about COVID-19. You don't know what it's going to do to your body. You really don't. You don't have a clue as to what COVID-19 is going to do to your body. As a matter of fact, the doctors don't even know. So once you go in there, all they can do is, and we're talking about, in October, things may be better now, okay, in terms of what they can do for you. But they only had, at that time, they only had so much that they knew what to do for you. And I knew I got a couple shots in my stomach. And I think my wife told me that was to make sure I didn't get blood clots. The other thing that they did for me really quickly was they began to give me some steroids so that it'd keep, my lungs open. Because I was walking around with pneumonia and really didn't know that I had pneumonia. And that's the weird thing. I said, pneumonia? Had no idea that I had pneumonia. Okay. So here I am. I'm laying in bed, and I began to pray. I began to, of course, my family, once they found out, of course, they called everybody, all of our family members, friends, who know the power of prayer. And even those that don't know the power of prayer, I'm sure they were contacted as well. But still, you know what I mean. So people began to pray all over the country, because we have family members from the West Coast to the East Coast, and friends in between and all around. So people began to pray. And I'm in the hospital, don't know if I'm going to come out or not. That's the honest to goodness truth, because you just don't know with COVID-19. And so here I am in the hospital, and I lose all track of time. I really did. I lost track of time, because what happened to me was that I don't want this video to go too long. That's why I'm looking at my clock. But here I am, and I'm at the hospital, and they tell me that they're going to release me. Okay, this is the following day. Okay, the following day. So I go on the October 26th, and they release me on the 27th. But here's the thing. I lost all track of time. I thought I was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. It felt like a long, terrible time. And because my oxygen levels kind of stabilized, but they still did not know if my oxygen was going to drop or not, because what they told me was that if you're having problems, any more problems than you are with your breathing, you need to get back to the hospital. Can you imagine? Okay, can you imagine somebody telling you that you've got to get back to the hospital? Here I am, man. And there's so much there. I'll tell you this. I ended up getting an in-home nurse, and when she told me this afterward, because she stayed with me for about a month and a half. Okay, almost the whole time. So she said when she first saw me, she could not believe that they let me out of the hospital. Long story short, okay, I began to pray while I was in the hospital. I said, and I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if you help me, if you heal me, help me, I'll do what you want me to do. See, you just can't say that to God, you know, because God, he'll you know, he'll call you on it. So here I am, 2 months, 10 days after I was diagnosed with COVID, and the Lord did call on me. He really did. And I'll share what happened in another video. But thankfully, the Lord healed me, touched me, and I am doing a whole lot better. And I'm still recovering, but it was nobody but the Lord himself who delivered me and healed my body and raised me up from that COVID-19 bed, and that COVID-19 bed in my house, and put me on a new direction. Now, I do have a link I want you to check out. It's an opportunity. Okay, you have to see it for yourself. I don't have time to talk about it in this video, but you check it out. And man, I'm wishing you, because I forgot to do it, wishing you a blessed, a wonderful, happy New Year. All right. Thanks so much for listening. All right. You be blessed. Bye-bye.